Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the brand new Maybelline Lifter Stix Contour Multi-Use Sticks. So these retail at $9.99 in the UK, but you can generally get them on offer depending on where you buy them from. Now altogether there are 18 shades, but in the UK we've got something like 5 shades. And it's really annoying because the vast majority of the lighter shades are not available, but most of the darker ones were. So I did struggle for myself, hence the reason why I've got 3. None of these were the 3 that I actually wanted. I kind of just went with what I could find. It's really annoying when there's such a large range out there, but Maybelline only releases a very small amount into markets outside of the US. So like I said, altogether I've got 3 shades, and I'm going to swatch them on my hands for you guys because when I do the demo I'm actually only using 2 of them rather than all 3. So firstly, let me just show you what it actually looks like. So it comes in this tube, which you obviously lift off, and you can actually see how much product is in there. There's that much in there, and then all you have to do is just twist it up and use it as and when or how you want to use it. You can see this is what it looks like. It's nice and creamy looking. So this is the shade number 20. You can see how creamy and easily it applies. This is a neutral color. Bear in mind I have got warm undertones. I actually want a shade 25, but that's not available. And then this shade is the shade 45. This is a warm toned color. It's not quite right for me in terms of contouring. It just looks like a smudge, and it's definitely not the right kind of color for me to use as like a foundation overall kind of color. And then this shade here is the shade 65, which is a neutral shade. So this is all 3 of them together, as you can see, quite vastly different. I know this one is supposed to be warm, but it doesn't look warm to me. What do you guys think? It looks more kind of olivey. Maybe it's just against my skin tone. Just to bear in mind that I have got light to medium skin tone with golden undertones, so it may show up a certain way against my skin tone differently as it does to other people's. So basically the purpose of these products is to kind of carve out your features, naturally enhance your features. When it comes to cream products, it's more about natural makeup rather than unnatural makeup, which is what you tend to get more with powder, because these are more reminiscent of what actual skin looks and feels like. So the lighter shades are there to lift your features, whereas the deeper shades are there to contour and sculpt your features. Now when it comes to shade 20, you guys will be able to see yourselves, it works as a lifting, highlighting kind of shade for me, but I would personally say that I would probably need another shade even lighter, which unfortunately this is the lightest shade number 20 that I could get in the UK. So it just about works, but it more so blends into my foundation, which I suppose is good and bad in a way. So Maybelline doesn't actually say that much about this on their website. It says, meet Lifter Stix, multi-use face sticks for a naturally sculpted look. Lift every angle effortlessly in a creamy swipe that covers, contours and highlights. Similar with cranberry seed oil, just swipe, blend and get sculpted in 18 shades. And then it gives you different ways to apply it to your face. There are loads of people that try different ways. Some people tend to use a sponge. Some people, like myself, tend to use a brush. The reason why I don't use a sponge is because a lot of the product actually gets soaked into the sponge, which to me kind of just defeats the purpose of actually applying a product to your face. So I prefer to use a brush. Just remember one thing, there are lots of people that are going around online showing this as a kind of foundation, which is fine for those people that are able to find the shade that actually matches their actual skin. But for people like myself and many other people out there, the most you'll be able to use this for is to contour your face as well as highlight your face, not necessarily for foundation. So in today's video, you're going to see me contouring my face with shade number 65 as well as highlighting with shade number 20. So as I'm applying this to my face, I'll say that it's got a very creamy consistency. It glides onto the face very, very easily and very effortlessly. It's actually got a fairly lightweight kind of coverage, which makes it great to kind of build up. So you don't have to necessarily worry about going in with a light hand per se. So that makes it easy to build up that shade depending on how deep or how light you want it. I'm using 2 different types of brushes, as you can see, but it's completely up to you. I prefer to use kind of more buffing brushes for contour, and then for highlight I either use my finger generally or a flat foundation brush, as you can see me using in today's video. I'm also using this to contour my nose as well, and at one point you will also see me comparing one side to the other side, just so that you can see the difference of my face being lifted, sculpted and contoured at the same time. Now I have not set this. I would say that you have to work quite quickly with this, as it does set fairly fast, but still giving you enough time to blend everything out seamlessly. It blends really nicely into foundation as well. It doesn't lift off foundation, which I love about this, because other previous Maybelline products I've noticed lift off the makeup underneath, which is really annoying, whereas I find that this complements foundation very, very well and blends seamlessly into it, leaving a nice gradient on the face. But I do have to admit, I did end up setting part of my face, especially where there is no darker contour on my face, because of the fact that it does leave behind a slightly tacky finish, and I don't like that feeling on my face. I like to have a really nice smooth consistency and a nice velvety texture on top. Once it is set, it looks great, and I find that it lasts pretty much throughout the day, as long as you obviously don't rub it. One thing you do have to remember, it is a cream product. Cream products tend to rub off of the face fairly quickly, and especially as we are in the warmer months as well, you're going to more likely need to set it just in case, because of the fact that the consistency of this may make it kind of slip around and come off a lot more easily. One thing I did notice about these is that they are a great dupe for these Too Faced, what were they called again? They are called the Melted Bronzing and Sculpting Sticks. A definite dupe for these. I realized when I was applying it, it felt like I was applying these ones. These cost half the price. These cost a lot more money. So for those of you that were ever interested in trying these, which are excellent by the way, you would definitely like these as well. Overall, I would actually give these a 10 out of 10. I think the quality is excellent. I think that it applies beautifully to the face. I've got textured skin. It does not emphasize the texture on my face. It doesn't slip around as long as I make sure to set it. It gives a lovely sculpted and lifted look to the face. I like the fact that it doesn't go patchy on the face either, and that it doesn't interfere with my foundation. And if you choose to use these on their own, I think that they will work well. And what I mean by on their own is that if you don't want to wear foundation and if you just want to apply these to your face, you can use them for spot concealing, especially if you manage to find one which is a similar color to your own skin tone. Personally, wouldn't actually use these as foundations. I just find that it doesn't have that same kind of texture. It doesn't have that same kind of coverage as well. And I find that if you apply it layer upon layer upon layer to give yourself that coverage, what will happen is that the creaminess from this will actually kind of work against your skin when the natural oils come through, and it will start to break down and it will just look quite cakey on the face. So I think these are definitely best used to just contouring and lifting the face. So that's it for my review of the brand new Maybelline Lifter Stix. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you thinking about trying them? Have you tried them? Let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful, gorgeous, beautifully sculpted as always, and I'll see you all in the next video.